Hi and welcome. This is family friendly yoga. So, whether you have your little ones with you or this is a bit of alone time for yourself, this is going to be a very gentle, relaxing, and laid back 30-minute yoga class. So, my name is Connie Pastorius. I'm a fitness coach and yoga instructor for busy mamas just like you. So, my number one rule with online workouts is if it hurts, don't do it. So, if at any point during the practice you feel a pain, tingling, numbness, or anything that feels uncomfortable, either back off the intensity of that exercise or that pose and then join us in the next pose, or just rest in Shavasana until you feel ready. Because even if you spend the whole 30 minutes laying down on your mat and breathing, that counts and it's perfectly okay. So we're going to get started. Make sure you have comfortable clothes on, shoes not necessary, and find yourself standing on your yoga mat. Feet are hip distance apart as we begin in standing mountain pose or Tadasana. So we're going to start with a grounding pose and a grounding practice as we start to connect our breath with our movement. But first we have to get into position. So let's take our feet hip distance apart. And even here, let's take a few moments and rock forward and backward, noticing the weight shifting to the front of the feet, to the back, and find a place that feels like it's right in the middle. Great. Next, let's roll to the outside of the ankles and then slightly in. So noticing the difference between leaning the ankles inwards and leaning them outwards. And then once again, finding a nice happy medium, a middle point where you feel balanced forward and backwards and left and right. So moving up the body from our feet, let's think about our knees. Our knees are slightly bent, just a little bit, so we aren't locking out. This helps us create a stable, strong foundation. And we do that by gently contracting or squeezing our thigh muscles. And as we move our way up to our hips, imagining this is a bowl. So with our hands on our hips, we can tilt the bowl forward a bit and back. I can show you from the side. We can tilt forward, tilt backwards, and we can just move our hips around a little bit. Maybe we go left, tilted right, and even making a couple circles forward and going the other direction, backward. And then coming back to that bowl, tilting it forward, backwards, just until you find that it is even. So nothing spills out the front, nothing spills out the back. So our ankles, knees, and hips are standing straight and strong. We gently draw the belly button in towards the spine to support our core. Drawing the shoulders back, the palms naturally rotate forward, and the chin is slightly lifted away from the chest. And here we are in Tadasana, standing mountain pose. While here, we feel like there's a little string pulling the crown of the head upwards, almost as if we're getting taller by the moment. Now, standing in Tadasana, closing the eyes as we set our intention for the practice. Your intention is what you came here for, what you want to get out of this. So thinking in your mind, you don't have to tell anybody, I want to become, and choose why you came here. I want to become more relaxed. I want to become more flexible. I want to become more present. And that is our intention. So keeping it to yourself, saying it in your mind. Let's slowly take our hands to our bellies and start to breathe. Inhaling through the nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause at the top of the breath. And exhale out. 2, 3, 4, and pause. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Paying attention as you keep breathing for those 4 counts. 2, 3, 4, pause. Out. 2, 3, 4, pause. Notice the hands as they expand with the belly, and then as they relax with the belly. Now, as we begin to move our arms a bit, we inhale the arms up with that deep breath in. Reach up and lengthen, and exhale, arms out to the side. This is how we start connecting the breath with the movement. Not worrying about what the next pose is from here, just enjoying the connection of the breath to the movement in the moment. Inhaling and exhaling. Now let's take the right arm up and over the head, stretching the body laterally, opening up the whole right side, still able to look up to the ceiling. Inhale up, exhale the arm down, and inhale the left arm up. Exhale to the side. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach a little farther. Inhale back up and exhale down. From here, let's take the arms overhead and one deep breath in. Exhale the hands to the heart, and let's sit back into our first chair pose just for one breath. So connecting our first big pose of the practice. Inhale the arms up and we straighten. As we exhale, hands come to the heart and sit back to chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, breathe, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Once more, inhale up. Exhale, sit back. And taking the arms overhead, grab opposite elbows. And once again, hinging to the left side, stretching the right side of the body. Come on up with an inhale. Exhale to the other side. And then rising up. And then taking a few arm circles. So drawing the arms forward, up, back, and down. Doesn't have to be too fast or too slow. Just opening up the channels in the shoulders, the upper body, and rest. And then twisting left and right. Twist from the ankles up through the crown of the head, and enjoying the little massage as the hands touch the waist. This opens the channels of the spine and the hips and the legs. Wonderful. From here, go ahead and grab your elbows again, but this time take your arms to the forehead. Taking a breath in, let's exhale and hinge from the hips, going down about 90 degrees. So the legs are straight and the spine is straight. Feeling a nice stretch down the back of the legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms out to the side and down. Then once again, bring the arms to the forehead. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, long, straight spine, long hamstrings, long legs. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms out to the side and down. And let's take the legs nice and wide. So if we're not stepping out to the long edge of the mat, let's do so now. And before we go anywhere, let's take the hands to the lower back on either side of the tailbone. Draw the elbows together. Inhale, lift the heart and lift the chin. A nice chest expansion. Imagine breathing into your heart. Let's take one more breath in. And exhale, let's fold all the way down to the floor. The hands can rest all the way down, or you can walk them through if it feels good. But we're just stretching out the legs. Shaking the head out, yes and no. Totally relaxed. Let's walk our hands to the left leg for a stretch. Looking past the knee, head stays relaxed. Then coming back to the center and walking over to the right leg for a stretch. Then coming back to the middle of the mat, let's walk the hands forward off of the mat just a few inches and take the left palm to face the right hand. Taking a breath in, keeping the hips exactly where they're at. Exhale and watch the hand as you twist from your torso up towards the ceiling. Big twist for the solar plexus, the middle of the belly. and the spine. Take one more inhale. Slowly exhale the hand down to the floor. Inhale the other palm, the right palm towards the left hand. Exhale, watch the hand as you twist up. Keeping the hips pointed down, the legs haven't moved. Looking up to the hand. One more inhale. Exhale that hand to the floor. And then let's walk over to the top of the mat. Stepping both legs back, we find ourselves in our first downward facing dog of the day. And go ahead and take a few moments to pedal the heels down, waking up the calves and the back of the legs. Letting the head relax, shaking out yes and no again. Taking a few breaths here. And then drawing both heels down towards the floor, we inhale up to plank pose just for one breath, really cultivating some energy and heat in the torso. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale up to plank pose, hands come under the shoulders. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Once more, inhale up to plank and exhale back. And this time we inhale up to plank just for one moment. And then as we exhale, hug the elbows, lower everything together down to the floor. Coming onto the tops of the feet, hands are next to the chest. We inhale and lift the heart off the mat for a baby cobra. Hands totally relaxed, not bearing any weight at all. Exhale down. Bringing some energy to the back of the body. Inhale, lift the heart. Elbows draw together behind the mat or behind the back. Exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Lift the heart, lift the ribs as high off the mat as you can. Exhale down. Once more, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale down. Moving to a bit deeper of a stretch for the spine. Slide the elbows forward till they're underneath the shoulders. Then inhale and lift the heart as you press the elbows down into the floor for Sphinx pose. Shoulders draw down and back. Chin is lifted, looking forward. Nice stretch for the spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower everything down to the mat, bringing the hands by the chest again. Exhale. Then inhale, press up and back. Knees nice and wide, toes touch into child's pose, Balasana. Relax the head down to the floor. Palms pressing evenly and strong into the mat, elbows lifted as we breathe. Inhale, feeling the ribs press against your legs. And then as you exhale, find one more part of your body to soften and relax. Going back to those side stretches, let's walk the hands to the right off of the mat and shift the weight to the left side just a little bit. Rest the head down to the floor. Then inhaling back to the mat, we walk over to the left, shifting the weight right. Relax the head down. Coming back to the mat, we inhale up into all fours, hands under shoulders and knees under hips, moving through cat and cow. We inhale, lift the tailbone, pull the shoulders back and look forward for cow. As we exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly up to the spine, spread the shoulder blades and tucking the chin for cat. Continuing as you breathe. Inhale, start at the tailbone and work your way up the spine. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly up, spread the shoulder blades and tucking the chin. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, lift the heart, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly up, spread the shoulder blades and tuck the chin. Excellent. From here, let's bring the right leg forward. So if you need a little bit of help, just grab your ankle and bring it up to the top of the mat. And now we have hand, foot across the top of the mat. Let's lunge forward so the back leg is relaxed and our left hip is drawing down towards the floor. From here, if it feels good, we can take our hands to our thighs and rise up to a modified crescent lunge. If we feel good here, we can bring the palms together up overhead And relax that left hip down even further. Take one more inhale. Let's exhale each hand to the side of the foot, so one hand on each side. As we twist, we reach the right arm up and look up as we relax and breathe. From here, take the right hand out to the right side of the mat, straighten the front leg and shift the weight back as we stretch the front leg. Lunge forward and inhale, straighten as you shift back. So we're going to do this a couple times, exhaling forward, inhaling back. Let's do once more. Inhale back, let's stay here. Walk the hands a little closer to the body, draw the toes up towards your nose, and stretch the back of this front leg. And then we walk forward, take the hands to the mat, bring that leg around back into child's pose. From child's pose, let's inhale up to modified plank. So one straight line from knees to shoulders. As you exhale, hug the elbows, lower all the way down to the floor. With your next inhale, lift the heart into that cobra pose. And as you exhale, press into the mat, back to child's pose. Awesome. Let's bring the left leg up to the front of the mat for the same thing on the other side. Again, if you need help, if your foot didn't make it all the way to the front of the mat, just grab the ankle and bring it up. We want a nice distance between the back knee and the front leg. So now we're at foot, hand across the mat, relaxing the right hip down to the floor, shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. From here, if it feels good, we can take the hands to the thighs for our modified crescent lunge. And if you want to go even farther, you can take the hands together overhead, relaxing the right hip down towards the floor as we breathe. Let's take one more inhale. As we exhale, hands come down to the mat and we come into our twist. So reaching the left arm up and looking up as we continue to lunge. Breathe. One more inhale. Exhale the left hand to the mat, straightening the front leg. We shift the weight back on an inhale, and then we exhale and lunge forward. A few more times, just working our way into the stretch. Exhale and lunge. Once more, we inhale back. Exhale, lunge forward. And this time we walk a little farther back. Bring the hands closer to your body and draw those toes up towards your head as we stretch the back of the leg. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, bring everything forward and then send that left leg back into child's pose again. And then once more, if you wish, coming up to modified plank. Exhale, lower everything down slowly and together. Inhale, lifting the heart, cobra pose. Exhale back to child's pose. Excellent. Slowly coming back up to all fours, we now go into thread the needle. So let's take the right hand out to the right corner of the mat. Take your left palm up so your palm faces your face. And then let's thread this left arm down and through past the right knee until the left side of the head and the left shoulder are on the mat. So we created this hole with our right arm, our torso in the floor, and we're threading the left arm through it. Shift the weight over to the left knee just a little bit, look up to the ceiling. Imagine now breathing into the back of the heart. So big stretch for the upper back. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, press the hand into the mat to rise up, unthread, go through one cat and cow stretch, and then going to the other side. The left hand goes to the left corner of the mat. My right palm faces up and threads down and through until the right shoulder and the right side of the head are on the mat. I'm looking up to the ceiling and breathing into the back of the heart. Big stretch for the upper back. And let's press that left hand into the mat. Rise up, unthread, one cat and cow stretch. Tucking the toes under, we lift the knees off the mat and return to downward facing dog. From here, let's walk the feet up to the hands into our forward fold. With our feet together for the first time, let's bend the knees as much as we have to until the ribs touch the thighs. Relax the head down, shake it out, release all the tension. And if you want to grab the elbows and rock side to side, you are welcome to. Whatever feels good. Then bending the knees, we look forward, reach the arms out and up, bringing the palms together for Tadasana. So from here, we will move into our balance poses. So starting with tree pose, sending some lovely positive energy to the neighborhood and moving into tree. So we shift the weight onto our right leg and choose one of 3 levels of tree pose. So remembering from the beginning how we stood strong on our legs, bring all that strength and all that balance back to the right leg. And then let's just draw the left heel to the right ankle, opening the knee out. Now this is the first level of tree pose. And if you want to stay here, if you feel good here, that's super cool. Otherwise, if you want to try, you can slide the heel up to the calf, that little calf muscle in your leg. Or if you want to try, skip over the knee joint and bringing the leg up to the inner thigh. There are no bonus points for whichever one you choose. So whatever feels good, or if you want to play around and try out a different version of tree pose today, that's fine. Just keep drawing the knee out to the side. And when you're ready, extending your branches. Shoulders relax down away from the head, fingers spread wide, lifting up and out of that standing leg. So grow a little taller and breathe. You're welcome to draw the corners of your lips up towards your eyes and smile. And then we can see what happens when we wave our branches from side to side, playing around with our balance. And then slowly bringing the hands back to the heart, draw the knee towards the front and lowering it down and shaking out the other leg. Slowly shift the weight onto the other side. You may find more or less balance here, and that's totally okay. Get strong, root the left leg into the mat. See what I did there? Draw the heel to the ankle. If you wish to stay here, that's fine. Or we can come up to the calf, or we skip over the knee and can come up to the inner thigh. Knee opens out to the side. Keep drawing the hip open in this pose. And this time, let's root our arms down. So a little different version of tree pose. This time we draw our arms downwards while lifting the crown of the head upwards. So imagining the little marshmallows between the vertebrae in our neck, expanding and growing a little bit taller. Lift yourself up and out of that leg, grow a little taller. Breathe and relax. And then move the arms side to side, playing around with the balance just a little bit more. Slowly draw the knee towards the front and relax it down, shaking out the other side. Moving to an arm pose. So this is a cow's face pose. It's a shoulder flexibility asana. So we're going to take our left arm and pat ourselves on the back. But this time from here, take your right arm and connect it as close as you can. Now, if you don't meet hands together, that's fine. Simply pull on your shirt in both directions. So chin is lifted, spine is straight, and we're seeing how close we can get to bringing the hands together. Draw the belly in, so stacking the rib cage on top of the hips as we breathe. Try to relax your muscles once you find the version of the pose that feels good. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release the arms slowly, a couple arm circles up, back, and down. And then we switch sides. So taking the right arm up, pat yourself on the back, and then take the left arm and meet it behind the back. Once again, you may find more flexibility, more reach on one side than the other, and that's normal. What we like to do in yoga is observe without judgment. So nothing is either good or bad, just is the way it is, and that's nice. Lift the heart, draw the belly in, chin stays slightly tucked. So it's not extended way up, it's not tucked way down, it's nice and neutral as we breathe. Then relax the arms. Couple more arm circles before we make our way down to the mat. Awesome. So coming onto the knees, we move into camel pose, a nice back extension, and we just warmed up our shoulders as well. So first version of camel pose, Ustrasana, taking your hands to your lower back and drawing the elbows together. The chin is lifted, but what's important in this pose is that the hips stay stacked on top of the knees. So we don't push our hips far forward, putting a lot of load in our back, but rather we stay nice and vertical, and we'll use the upper back to arch backwards. So the chin is slightly lifted. Well, it's definitely lifted here. Elbows are drawing together behind the back. Now, if this feels good and you want to try to go a little farther, tuck your toes under to lift your heels a little bit. Relax the hands back. Keep hinging from your upper back until you reach your heels. So the hips are still stacked on top of the thighs. Chin is lifted, and if it feels good, you can relax the head back. So a few options. Ustrasana, camel pose. Let's take one more breath in. As you exhale, tuck the chin to your chest. Slowly rise back up. We're going to go right into cat stretch for a counter pose. So hands to the floor, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and spread the shoulder blades. And then slowly bringing the legs around front, coming into a comfortable seated position. So half lotus pose is an option with one leg stacked up on top of the other. It's like crisscross applesauce. You can put a cushion under your tailbone or a block if it feels more comfortable. But from here, we're just going to do a few simple stretches and finish our practice. So first of all, coming back to our side stretches, let's take our left elbow, left arm to the floor and reach the right arm up and over for a big side body stretch. Let's inhale up and exhale to the other side. Forearm to the mat. Rotate the heart up towards the ceiling. Relax the knee down. Let's do one more on each side. Up and over. Last time, taking it up and over. Slowly rise up. Coming into a seated spinal twist, we take the left arm behind us and take our right hand onto the left knee. Lift the spine, lift up tall, and as you exhale, use the hands to twist yourself backwards. Keeping the spine straight so we're not really leaning back on the back arm. Inhale back to the center, to the other side. Left crosses over to the right knee. Our hand reaches back. We look over the back shoulder because where the eyes go, the body follows. And breathe. Slowly coming back to the center. Taking our taking our left hand to the right side of the head for a neck stretch. As you exhale, slowly press the fingers onto the temples, and that's the only thing that's moving the neck. Everything else is completely relaxed. Slowly come up and take the right hand to the left side of the head. Gently press and stretch. And slowly come up. Now bringing the hands either to the heart or resting them on your knees, or taking one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, whatever feels good to you. Let's close our eyes for the last few moments. Coming back to our intention for the practice, why we are here. We said we are becoming, and the word we chose, the idea we chose for the day, but as we close our eyes, we think of what that intention was, and we create an affirmation. So instead of saying, I am becoming, in your mind with your inhale, say, I am. And with your exhale, say the word you chose for today. Say it to yourself 2 more times with 2 more breathing cycles. And then I'll return my hands to my heart. And in closing, say that the inner light in me sees, honors, understands, and loves the inner light in each of you. And in that, we are one. And thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.